June 24th, 2025. For those could be at work or laying down, maybe you worked overnight, I understand. And it's just the first time coming to listen, you won't be bored. You will be really, really, really into it, into the podcast. Yes, because I have a lot to say. We have a lot to say. We talk about issues. We talk about things that affect us as human beings. No one is an island. Yeah. So thank you all, family and friends, loved ones, and just so many people. Just probably browsing through on social media platforms and want to listen to someone. You can listen to Can't Catch a Break. Hey, we're down to earth. We talk about the facts. We talk about reality. We talk about things that improve, to better, to build, to move forward, to build self-esteem, to encourage. We talk about things, to love, to forgive. We talk about things that really, that's uh, we see was affecting some people in this world, you know. So thank you all. I just want to give a shout out to you. Yes, and many times, yes, many times we come on here. I come on here, and talk about things that is important. This is something I ain't make this up. Done my research, proven facts. Yes, it'd be me talking. Something I done research, study, seen with my own eyes, witness. I just don't make up stories. I literally talk about things that concern of no matter what race, color you're from. We all in here in America, and people from all around the world are human beings. Okay, so I want to get right into this episode. Jump rope, jump rope. All right. On today, let's talk about something that's we sometimes I know parents working. I know teenagers are out of school during the summertime in some states, right, in America. But have you ever wonder, all the times, as a parent, and you go to work, the mom and dad is a two-parent home, and you always wonder what your teenager doing, if they're not working, if they're not in school, summer school. Yes, I'm quite sure a lot of you ponder about that, those things. But believe it or not, there are more teenagers getting in more trouble like never before. There's a lot of pregnancies happening in this time of season because when it's hot, the weather's nice, and the parents is not around. Being a teenager, I've been quite sure everyone being a teenager, you see the things what could happen unless the parents are really focusing on their child, their children, and give them some directions. Then some things could be avoided. But we find out some young teens are working, and they might have some variety of activities they do. Might go to different clubs. When it comes to youth. After school, work or something they do extracurricular, part-time jobs, have chores, doing chores around the house. Okay, then you got some to spend time with family and friends, or just friends. And sometimes even then, after the fact, teenagers started getting into trouble, and we see it now as a growing nation. But we don't see their parents, their husband and wives, or two-parent homes. We see the single mom more than anything raising a child. We see things are happening like at a rapid rates, but we must keep in mind about you know paying attention. If you have a teenager or some boy or girl or something, uh, you know, um, pay attention to because there's a lot of hidden factors when you're not around. If you're at work, what they get into, and this is why we have a juvenile system now. And these it's been happening, but I'm saying a lot of things could be avoided. And I know the parents working, that they're trying to make a living, that's understandable. But the parents should be in the child's life, especially as a teenager. There's a lot of mischievous things goes on, with what they can get into with the cell phones and different social media platforms and things that that are really damaging the young people's mind of what they're looking at. So you gotta be careful as parents. Find out what your teenagers are doing, because that way you can avoid them from many dangerous pitfalls of down the line when it comes to pregnancy. At an early age of some getting pregnant now at 13 years old. We see this rapid rate, and we see that with all the social programs that are being cut out, kids don't have, the teenagers really don't have nowhere to go if they're not working, if they're not being involved in activities, because many centers are closing down due to the budget crisis and different cities and states and towns. We see there's a lack of, where one time there was camps for kids, you know, there was things teenagers could do, and especially when dealt with the parks and recreations and stuff, and those clubs for young youth. You see a lot of those are being shut down. Grants has been depleted. And we see now what's going on for 2025. The grants has been, depleted. To the point is that there's no money because of that president who wants to cut all the funding. For certain people when it comes to political party. When it comes to being Republican or Democrat, if you're a red state, guess what? You have favor. But if you're a blue state, guess what? He don't care nothing about you. So I'm just keeping it 100, y'all. Keeping it 100. I mean, because that's what's going on right now. And can't nobody deny this. And we see the economy, we see what's going on. They want to cut after school programs, education. They want to cut things that's pertaining to helping these kids, social programs, children with disabilities and stuff. And we see this taking place. And so these kids, okay, when it comes to food and all that, Meals on Wheels, y'all heard that, right? The things, different things that that's distributed, through educate, through the school system and the federal. But we've seen a lot of that's being cut. You have a lot of billionaires that family kids are all set, college paid for, things that happen for them. When you see the people that low income and middle class, they are not getting anything happen for them. Just a good handshake. That's about it. So you have to be careful about, I mean, because the teenagers now are so smart now. Yeah, they know. Their watches the pants. They know what time they're gonna leave and go to work. They know the time they're gonna get back. Okay, some things they're planning that so they can get their friends over and have a party in the parents' house. A lot of things taking place when during hot weather when teens are out of school. That's why it should be programs and things for them to do. But unfortunately, uh, we see a lot of those programs are being cut. Um, I mean, they constantly on media, social media out. They're talking and especially on the cell phones and they so things that the parents should be like monitoring them. So if they're going back to high school another year, they could be doing some things social. You know, so we seeing that, and we seen the highest dropout rate. Some states will say, "Well, I'm doing this better than your state." But there's a problem is here because there's no hope for some of these kids that want to go to school, okay? But because of the funding, um, you know, and things, um, kids does not have a chance. Some to go to college, some don't. Yeah, so parental involvement should be open communication, I mean, really, because there's a lot of things going on in in schools today with teachers. You see in the paper about these teachers, and see in the paper about there's a lot of things happening, a lot of violence in schools happening, and some people, they are really, really looking for answers. Um, so I just wanted to share that because these are things right now that's going to support or just going to affect the human population down the line. We see this coming. Yeah. So if you believe in prayer, pray, pray. I'm not forcing my religion on you or anything, but I believe in prayer. Okay. So we see what's happening, what's going on. Um, with the with these cuts, and then we also I'm gonna be direct back to what the teenagers are doing when parents are working. Okay. Now, they're gonna hang out with friends. They're gonna hang out with their peers. All that they're gonna do that. And their parents are working. And then sometimes they go home and just watch movies in theaters. Okay. But the thing is, it's gonna take both parents to engage with this young teenager. There's not enough engagement. You see why teens decide to just all of a sudden go out and do things because they want the love and nurturing from their mom and dad and stuff. So we see that. And some not even in their lives. Parents are not even in their lives. So and that half they wind up in a system. So during the summer, we don't know exactly. I know they in camp or something like that, housing. But we don't know what's really taking place in these places. Only so because there's been things happening before. So it need to be monitored. All a lot. It just this is chaos. And you see the teenagers now getting caught up and doing things. When they're supposed to be going back to school, so they wind up they wind up in juvenile intake because over the summer they want to get into things that was against the law. Let's keep it real, okay? That's why I should be advocates for people, for the young people, so they can stay socially active in college. Trying to go to college. I'm sorry for the pause. Try to go to college or do something that's positive. Yes, because what we see now, there's no a push. There's a lot of debating about when it comes to things of getting money or help. But the teens right now are doing what they want to do. Some teens are smoking. Age of 14, 13 years old, smoking cigarettes. Mom ain't around. It's a lot of things. People realize that what's happening when it comes to um, teens not being learning anything new, or not engaging, like learning about classes, different classes, the instrument, cooking classes, or they're going to the library. They get caught up in doing other things. So I want to say that because do you know what your teenagers doing when you at work? Do you actually know? Yeah. Some parents are putting cameras up in their house and outside their house because they see some things that happen, probably, where the teenagers had gotten to a point where there was parties in their house, fights in their house, things are happening. But ain't nothing wrong with that because you can catch them quicker when they're younger. Then when they get older, they ain't gonna want to have nothing to do with you. It's gonna come out their mouth. He or she gonna tell me what I should be doing. That's what they'll be saying when they get older. hmm Yes. So that's what we need to do as a people, as a nation. You know, Find out more about our children, young adults, teenagers, and what they're into, what they're doing. I mean, some people, because yeah, things can happen and it could be bad. But you could have had a way to redirect, but you didn't. So these are the things that teenagers. When I say about teenagers, what they're doing. mm, Okay, when parents are working, now some probably stay at home. You know, you're obedient, but you have some that's disobedient. So they go out and do something, and then all of a sudden, wow, I thought you was at home. That's the thing, yeah. So it become more, I was so the teens to me need to be doing schoolwork. I mean, doing their time, because you can't learn if you don't study. Teens should be studying. They should be reading books. Okay, get away from all that rap and all that books that don't read that talks about celebrities, but really how your life is. Mm. So accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. I always do that. Accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. We got to do that. Okay. So there's a lot of things that parents, if they're young enough, they're hard growing up, they can be helping. They can be, playing sports with them, you know, or in the park or something. They could be, connected, connect, do things positive. Have fun. Yeah. And if there's need be, if they can, unless they're school, get a part-time job. So do that too. Okay, so that's what's going on here. With the situation about, you know, uh, about different areas of who's going to be in charge and all that. But I think the main focus here is uh, what your teenagers doing while both parents are working. All right, so I just want to share that with you all because teens can experience boredom, being bored. Sometimes they don't have no way to cope with it because some parents don't see that. But then when they run out there and do something bad, your parents see that. He wasn't paying no attention, you know. Okay, so a lot of peer pressure, a lot of things are happening in their mind, the chemical mix of their brain. So I just want, I mean, I'm saying I just want to, I just said I want to, but I really appreciate y'all. I'll tell you, this is something we need to conversate about, you know, because the teenagers today are very, very not listening. Some of them are not listening. Okay, they're not listening, you know. So these are things that America as people, that all of us will be facing. Teenage kids, if you have any, So, and so I thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. I'm DJ and Dr. Shar. It catches on. We come on, I come on, and yes, we'll be coming up with videos soon. So I just want to share with you anything you'd like to say. If you can post, POLL. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe to Can't Catch a Break. Can't Catch a Break is designed to help, to encourage, to build, okay, to remove any stubborn stains that affect uh, people. Yes, it's real, not reality. We speak on. So I just want to enlighten. We're not here to judge. We're not here to tell nobody now. But we're here to speak the truth. That's what it's all about. Getting our facts straight, not just making up anything, because that's not who we are. So thank you all for listening, and keep hope alive. Keep praying. Keep hope alive. Now I need to say that right. It's real though. Keep hope alive. Yes, because yes, it's real. It's real. It's real. So thank you all. Listen, thank you all for taking out your busy schedule. You don't have to do nothing. Appreciate you always. Yes. Yes, please subscribe, poll me. Yes. We would love to hear from you. Tell us what you think. Yes. Your feedback is very important. It's good to agree and disagree. Have no problem with that. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all have a fantastic and a wonderful day in life. God bless.